Howdy y'all, and welcome to Jab Plays. Today we'll be playing Upload Labs. In the last episode we started out with an upload and a download, which is right here, of a speed of 8 bits per second. That's right, you heard me. Slow as Christmas. And no money. We've unlocked the GPU, which is up here, and the CPU. We've unlocked the ability to mine crypto, and on top of text, we've also got images. In this episode, we're working on trying to unlock research, which at this point, we don't know what it is, but we'll figure it out. So let's go ahead and get this party started. All right. It looks like the best bang for our buck right now is premium images, increasing it by 100%. So we're going to go from 25K to 36K. And yeah, that was a wise decision. And then after that, we need to go ahead and start upgrading some stuff like the processor. And do we have enough to get the network going a little bit faster? And hey, let's go ahead and sell some of that to get some more money. And you know what? We'll go ahead and spend our premium images to bump that up to 72K. Man, we're gonna be at 100K a second soon, which is gonna be amazing. And let's figure out what we're gonna go from here. You know what? Boosting our network speed is probably not a bad idea. You know what, for 16 million? I mean, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I think we'll upgrade this. Let's see, this is going up to a 55. Will it get to 200? Yeah, it will. So, we're almost at 16 mil. So let's take a look at this while we're waiting on money. Requests. We can claim that. Oh, hang on a second. So we've got points while we're waiting on our 16 mil. And let's do this. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and unlock the node group. And I'll explain to you guys what the node group does, because the node group's pretty cool. All right, let's upgrade the GPU and make it faster. Yeah, she's running around just fine. So what the node cluster group does is it gives us this, right? And what we can do is we can expand this to make it, you know, whatever we want. And then we can grab things and stick it in here. Actually, I don't care about that one. We want this one, right? And then what we can do is we can just minimize it. We can change the color. And then it locks it in place. And then we can just move this in anywhere we want, like so. And you have the ability to save it in the future for blueprints purposes and stuff like that. So it is a very interesting mechanic. All right, are we going back up to 200 again? 169, 200. Hey, there's another 21 million. Okay, let's see. You know what? Do we have enough for another image? We do have enough for another image. We can, oh, there's some more of that. We can upgrade this. And let's see, we can upgrade that next. And let's take a look and see if we've got any bottlenecks kind of going on right now. This is slowly getting there. This is hurting our money, but we're getting more points. And what we need points for is eventually, I would like to be able to get Antivirus Pro for 300. However, we may get some of these other things cheaper. It's just something I'll have to think about. Not 100% sure the right direction. All right, we've got enough to get more processing speed. So now we're at 3.2 kHz, which is, hey, I think we started off with 100 hertz when we first got it. So much is more. All right, are we going up to 200 again? Maybe, yes. Get there. All right, we'll sell that. Okay, where are we sitting at now? So we just upgraded this to Mark 5. You know what? All right, there's the research that we're trying to get to. It's 1 billion, right? It's okay, we'll get there. Do I want... You know what? Processing value makes sense. Let's go ahead and get processing value, and then after that, what are we looking at? I think we'll just go cheapest. We'll just go cheapest to where we can go. Eventually, I'd like to unlock antivirus and research, right? Because it will dramatically help us. So, all right. So this is flatlining right now, but on the other hand, keep in mind this is still worth 1.2, right? It still has a value. And if we sell it because we need the money, it's not going to hurt anything. Let's go ahead and upgrade this to 17. And what is it going to take to make this to 16 mil? You know, see, just by doing that right there, I mean, yeah, we're kind of hurting ourselves a little bit in the long run, but you know what? Money's money. And the quicker we can get our hands on money, right? The faster we can progress. Hey, there's another 5 mil. So we'll upgrade this, and now we're at 316K a second. So we're cruising in on 0.5 mil. Let me get a sip of my coffee here. All right, so these are 20 and 65 mil. 40 mil for, I think the 40 mil for the premium image, because it's an increase of 100%, it is probably the best bang for our buck right now. You could argue that we could do other things and like sell crypto, but I think that we're okay. Let's go ahead and check on this. This is going fine. I believe when we unlock antivirus, we'll be able to get some more points with the text. But as you can see, there's sound, there's video, there's programming, there's game. On top of that, we've got research. So there's a lot to the game that we haven't seen yet. All right, we're at 60 mil. Is that enough to get? Yep. There's our premium image. Now we're up to 362. The image is coming off of here, so that's 231K. Off of our processing, we're getting 102 and 28 off of this, and then depending on, you know, how much crypto we've got sitting at. So now that we've done that, what's the next logical step? Everything over here is getting really expensive, so maybe we're going to start looking at the cheaper stuff. So we'll upgrade that up to 18. That's 64 million. That's 65 million. You know what? If we're going to do that, we might as well wait on the 80 million to get the crypto value next. I think that would be, yo, and it's going up. 149. All right, we'll sell it. All right, so how much did I say we needed? We're at 53 mil. We're at 470K, so that's almost 0.5 mil a second. And we need 80 mil. It's not gonna take long. Not going to take long at all. So I've already did this node, so let's go ahead and come into here and let's get another node up for here. And actually what we can do is, you know what? Let me move it above. Let's expand this out and we'll just stick all the crypto in here for right now. And then we can change the color. Now, I wish that there was more color choices to this, but on the other hand, it's kind of nitpicking and I'm okay with that. There we go. So now we can kind of move this around any way we want. And while we were doing that, hey, look at, oh wait, here. Sell that. We'll come in here. We'll get our crypto value that increases it by 100%. So I'm thinking what that does is it's going to take that from 1.2 to 2.4. No. All right. All right, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what it did. It was supposed to do something. I'm not seeing, unless I'm just not reading it right. It was at 1.2. I don't know. It is what it is. So, what's the next thing? 41 mil. Here, we'll take care of that. We can upgrade this bad boy for 65 mil. We're at 622,000. So while we're waiting on that, we'll go ahead and get us another node group and just kind of try to get a little organized, right? So we'll put that in there. We'll put the virus scanner in there. We'll put the uploader in there for right now, and then we'll kind of shrink it all down just a little bit. Yep. And then move it. There we go. That's all good. We're sitting at almost 70. So this is going to be done soonish. And we're looking at what, 65 mil? All right, we'll look at crypto again. Shouldn't take too much. How many million did I say? 65. I'm old and my eyesight's failing me. But there we go. So we're sitting good over there. It looks like maybe the GPU's next. Yeah, at 60. Yeah, it's the cheapest, so we'll upgrade that. Oh, it's going up. And there's 14 million. So as you can see, the money comes pretty quickly. There is some waiting here and there along the ways, but it's not too terrible. And the other thing is, what you can do is, if you choose, you can just let the game run, right? You know, just minimize it. It doesn't take a whole lot of resources, and you can just let it run, you know, for a couple hours or overnight, you know, whatever you want, and then, you know, get up and spend your money like a madman. There's 48 million. That's going to help the cause out. All right, so I think premium image is next, and boom, we're at 817,000 a minute, or a second, a minute. Holy cow, well, way more than that. So what is the next? I think antivirus. I think we're just going to save up for antivirus. So I will bring you guys back when we have enough for antivirus. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. At the time of this recording, we have no subscribers. Help us get to 100. Hey, look at that. There's number 100. So that has completed that task. So we can disconnect this. And by disconnecting this, this should... Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to do this because we're going to get this. So what we'll do is we'll get another uploader, right? And we'll feed these in here, right? And then we'll connect this up. And then what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and we'll sell it, right? It's some money, and we get points for doing that. So let's go ahead and collect the points. So there's 20 points for the image, and for the achievement there's 25. So, you know, we're sitting good. We're sitting at 85 points. We're at 142. There's 180. So 120 is what we needed for antivirus. So now we can look at antivirus and be like, all right, Chad, what's antivirus? I'm glad you asked. So this is the beautiful thing, right? We can take this whole doc and move it over here and be like, all right, how does antivirus work? All right, it's off of, no, is it? Yeah, here. So what we can do is we can put one over here. We'll hit this, we'll hit the question button, and it says it removes the infected modifier from files using clock speed. All right, so we learned that the infected file is worth 30% less, or no, 4 times less. So what we can do is I need a folder. I think I need a folder, and let's see if we can figure out how this works. So I'm gonna move this over here. We'll put the quarantine here. We'll put the folder here, and we'll make this larger to fit everything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the one that has the bug on it, right? We're gonna move it into here. And then we're gonna take clock speed and run clock speed into the quarantine. And then we're gonna run. So what this is doing is just taking the bug, it's getting the bug off, so it's just a shield, and we're gonna run that into the folder. Then we're gonna disconnect this, and then we'll run this shield into this folder like that. And you know, I see you. And then because because I'm picky about things, like that. No, dang it. There we go. And then take this one, because I just want to be able to see. I want to see my lines. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I just want to see my lines. And then what we can do is we can turn this into our uploader. So now all the files are being done, and then we can take this and be like, all right. So now if we were selling it like the images, now we're actually, instead of getting 4 times less, we're getting the full value that we should be. And put that there for right now, and then we'll take this and kind of move it like that, and that's good. And do I have crypto to sell? Yeah, we got crypto to sell. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing with this here in a second, but before I do that, let's take a look and go, can we buy anything? We can bid premium images, which is, now we're over a millisecond, which is phenomenal. And what else can we get? You know what, we can get premium value at 260. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and If 1 was good, 2 is better. So we'll move this. We're going to need that later. Come into here. And let's move stuff around. So we know we're going to need a folder. And we're also going to need antivirus. And then we'll disconnect that. We'll run that into the antivirus. We'll run that into here. We'll disconnect that. We'll run that into the folder. No, I don't want to, not another virus scanner. I want the antivirus. Yo, there's what we're, all right, that's what we were looking for. All right, so do that, feed that into there. I don't need that one anymore, so we'll get rid of that one. And now we're up to 1.55 mil. And while we're at it, almost 260. Yo, now we're at 260. We'll go ahead and get our processing value, which is the multiplicity. Hey, I said it right this time. And we'll go ahead and sell that. I'm not sure. Processing value. That's this down here. Okay. So now we're getting 273 a second on this based on our clock speed. All right. So we're sitting good at that. So what's the next thing to do? I think the next, we'll get rid of that. Next thing to do is get that. And is this going up to 200? It's trying. 134. We'll sell it anyway. All right, so we need 83 million to get this. We'll go ahead and bump that. We need 262 million to bump that. So I think we'll bump that. Then we'll come into here and 320. And then $1 billion, right? I think that's the logical steps that will go. All right, let me fix this. Let's take a look at the outline, and actually let's take a look at this. So we've got that. I've got 120 points that we can spend. For 120, I can get Cheapskate, which is reduces money cost by 5%, which on the surface sounds great, but I just don't think it's something worth doing at this point. What else could... Luck's at 150, which means it gives us more token spawns. I think we just sit on it, right? I think we just sit on it for right now. We can look at this and go, okay, what requests can we do? We could do image request, right? So let's see if we can set that up. We'll come down here and basically, you know what? We can just do it this way. We can take that, come into here and disconnect that. I mean, we're still getting 1.35 mil, right? So that's not the end of the world. And we'll put that in there, and you know, it will slowly get to 1,000. All right, let's check on our crypto. We're at 116%. You know what? We can sell it. Is that enough to get us? Yes, that's enough to get us the premium image that we were waiting on. Or were we waiting on? No, we were waiting on this. Mark, we'll speed that up. And then premium image. And then the big jump. Oh, so we could spend 120 points on this. this will double our download speed. This is something I'm gonna have to think about, because the problem with eventually we'll have the ability to change download speed and upload speed and all this other stuff into other things. But I think until we have the ability to balance it out, increasing our download speed, doubling it is just going to clog things, because so like right now, right, we're slowly gaining. Are we? Maybe. Yeah, we're slowly gaining in here because we need more upload speed. But the problem is download speed and upload speed's the same. So yeah, we're sitting at an issue right now. This is just going to get clogged. Eventually we can go through it. It'll be fine. It's just one of those things. All right. You know what? Here, you're flatlined for a while, but I need the money. I hear you. Let's do that. Let's come into here. We've got enough for premium image. So I'm just going to let things run. And when we get to 1 billion, I'll bring you all back. All right, we're halfway to 1 billion. And I just noticed that this little tab is unlocked. So let's talk about this tab. So this is the home tab, and this is the research, which we're trying to unlock. And it's a tech tree. And as you can see, it's pretty extensive, right? Well, it'll let me get the free one, but you can highlight it and you can see, all right, so this is a network, this is a network exchanger. It converts upload into download speed. So if we get this, then yeah, doubling upload, it may be beneficial. Then we've got this thing called checksum validation. It unlocks the verified. So basically, it's another way of increasing the value of our files. And then there's parallelism. It unlocks the synchronization. All right, so it gives us the ability to manage our GPU, our CPU cores and GPUs to work in a way that we want it to work. So these are very beneficial, and these work off research coins. But in order to get research coins, we have to get research going, which is why we're sitting over here. And hey, 67 million. Yeah, keep going up. 181. Get to 200, man. There we go. All right, so we're at 900 mil, right? And I was looking at some stuff, and I was just like, man, I could have spent some money in here to get there a little bit faster, and I probably could have spent upgraded this to 22. But sometimes hindsight, right? I was chasing that magic carrot of research, and it is what it is. So let's go ahead and we're almost there. I mean, we're a billionaire. All right, so let's go ahead and unlock research. And hey, we have accomplished our goal. I'm sure you guys want to know what research is, and where is it? There it is. So let's pull this out. And what it is we have to feed it, right? We have to feed it texts. So, man, I wish I could feed it this text. Actually, you know what we can do? We can just split it, right? We can split some into here, and then we can feed that into there. And basically, what happens is at 0.2 seconds, we're going to get research. Now, if we look at this right here, it's going to tell us that there's a research value of 1. Now there's ways of getting higher research, so that's a research value of 1. If we come look at this, that's a research value of 2. So the more complex the file is, the more research points you're getting. But at this point, you know what? We're getting some research, but this may not be the best way of going about it, because right now you see what the problem is. We're overstacked. So what I'll do is I'll just leave that 1.43 in there, and we'll just let it run. And what we'll do is the next time we get together, we'll figure out a better way of doing this research. All right, guys, if you made it this far, you're rock stars, right? And I appreciate it. Do me a favor, put a comment in the comment section of what is your favorite sport, right? Tell me what your favorite sport is. It's a way of letting me know that you made it this far, and the other people that are in the comment section that don't see it, well then, you know, hey, they don't know because they didn't make it this far. All right, I appreciate you guys. You guys are tremendous. If I don't see you in between now and then, have a fantastic week. And as always, happy farming.